Hello everyone, welcome to Level Up IAS. In today's video of CSAT Weekly, we will start with doing CSAT 2020 reading comprehensions. And so in today's video, we will analyze what kind of passages were asked, how many questions were there in each passage, and what was the level of difficulty. So till now we have observed that generally the passage that you have been asked वो सारे क्या होते हैं आपके जनरल उस पे बेस्ड होते हैं. GS knowledge can also be applied. Then option elimination is one of the best ways of doing the questions in most cases, right? Reading comprehensions may it helps a lot. Okay, so today we are going to start with the very first passage of CSAT 2020. In this passage you have, okay, firstly, we'll say that this is almost a lengthy passage, not that much, but then more than the average length. And then you have one question with it. And why am I saying that this is lengthy? Because with one question you have 5 options, 5 points. From 5 you have these options. But as we discussed earlier, this does not mean that the question is difficult, because type of options kaun se hai? This. For example, now this is an example. I have not read this right now. For example, let's say 3 cannot be your answer. Okay? So clearly you can eliminate these two. So even if you eliminate one, with the help of it, you can eliminate 2 options. Okay? So just because you have 5 points does not mean that it is a difficult question. But yes, it does mean that you will have to give some time to this question. Reading the question, then reading the options, reading these 5 points, analyzing them, तो थोड़ा time लग सकता है, but this does not mean कि question is difficult. Next, moving on to passage 2. Now this, you'll see this is a short passage, ठीक है, बिल्कुल average से short length का passage है. And then, but in this passage also you have 5 points. 5 points के साथ 4 options of different types. Again, the same kind of options which I talked about earlier. I said that in these options, because of elimination, it makes it easy for us to find out the answer. See, imagine that out of these 5 points, I would have given you 1, 2, 3, 4. ठीक है, जैसे in general हमसे पूछा जाता है. In question it is asked, let's say which of the following is the correct assumption. Along with that, you have option A, option B, option C, option D. ठीक है, in that case, you have to select 1 out of 4. In this case, you have to eliminate. Elimination is easy. Selection में you might feel that these 2 are the correct. But इसमें से, even if you eliminate 1, for example, let's say 1 cannot be my answer. ठीक है, 5 में से कोई भी एक eliminate अगर आप easily कर पा रहे हो, that means आप easily option select कर पा रहे हो. You can cancel the options. ठीक है, so it makes it easier for you to have the correct answer. In this question, these type of questions, having the right accuracy is more, there are more chances of you getting the question right. Even though time लग सकता है, but ऐसे questions में आंसर सही आने के chances ज्यादा होते हैं. ठीक है, because 4 में से एक correct select करना is difficult, but 4 में से एक को wrong कर देना. Imagine that you have 4 options A, B, C, D. Correct तो एक ही होगा. Let's say option B is correct. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. Incorrect select करना है. 3 out of 4. Anyone you can select. Correct select करना है. 1 out of 4. 25% chance. So even if you apply थोड़ा aptitude here, selecting the wrong answer is easier. It has more probability. ठीक है? So eliminating the wrong answer is easier than selecting the correct one, because I know only 1 is correct. I know 3 are incorrect only. ठीक है? Next, you have passage 3. A normal length passage, and then again you see 1, 2, 3 and these options. 1 only, 2 only, 3 only, and so on. ठीक है? So you'll see in 2020 a lot of questions has been asked on this line. ठीक है? Next, you have passage 4. Passage 4, normal length का passage, in fact short passage only, and then you have 4 options with it. But see, one more question with it. 2 questions in this passage, and the passage was also not that lengthy. ऐसे question क्या करने, जरूर अटेम्प्ट करना है एग्जाम में, ठीक है। बिकॉज इसमें क्या है, सारी आइडियल कंडीशंस है, पैसेज की लेंथ भी ठीक है, 2 क्वेश्चंस है, क्वेश्चंस आल्सो आर नॉट दैट लेंथी, इसमें तो यू हैव 4 ऑप्शंस, इन दिस यू हैव 1 and 2 स्टेटमेंट्स ओनली, ठीक है। सो ऐसे क्वेश्चन जरूर अटेम्प्ट करने इन योर एग्जाम। देन यू हैव पैसेज 5, नाउ दिस इज अ लेंथी पैसेज, and then you have again 4 options, out of this you have to select, but you have 2 questions here, so even though passage की length is more but questions भी 2 हैं, so अगर आप ये passage करते हो 2 questions का benefit मिल जाता है, right? चलो, let's start with the first passage, passage 1. So you will see that in UPSC the passages that have been asked are also ऐसे नहीं है कि बिल्कुल अननोन है, although there are a few philosophical passages that are unknown to us, but GS के भी बहुत सारे maximum passage जो है GS के knowledge पर ही they have been asked, ठीक है। Private investment in general is volatile. Foreign private investment is more volatile because the available investment avenues are significantly greater, that is entire world, ठीक है। प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट तो वॉलेटाइल होता ही है, ठीक है, दैट यू कैन नॉट रिलाई ऑन इट दैट मच, एंड देन इट फ्लक्चुएट्स। फॉरेन प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट इज मोर वॉलेटाइल बिकॉज अब आपके पास इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए कौन सी मार्केट है, द होल वर्ल्ड इज योर मार्केट, ठीक है, एंटायर वर्ल्ड। Therefore, the responsibility of providing employment can be left to foreign district investment. The current FDI inflows are volatile over time and across sectors and regions, which is a necessary consequence of their search for highest returns. The adverse consequences are unstable employment and accentuation of income and regional inequalities. A probable positive consequence of foreign investment is inflow of new technology and its subsequent diffusion. Okay, so एक positive consequence क्या है, is inflow of new technology, नई टेक्नोलॉजी का आना, और subsequent diffusion means वो टेक्नोलॉजी further आपकी कंट्री में भी आप यूज कर रहे हो। So एक तो input of new technology and then diffusion into your own investment or your own country, जो भी एरिया है आपका। However, the technology diffusion is not at all certain because existing state of physical and human capital in India may prove inadequate for the diffusion. However, जो ये technology diffusion है, it is not at all certain. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि वो टेक्नोलॉजी आई है and then it diffuses into your economy also. टेक्नोलॉजी diffusion certain नहीं है because जो एग्जिस्टिंग स्टेट, सी टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए भी हमें क्या चाहिए होता है, वी नीड फिजिकल कैपिटल टू डेवलप दैट, टू इन inculcate that technology into our country also. Physical capital चाहिए, human capital चाहिए. We know that you are bringing AI and you are bringing everything, but वो operate कौन करेगा when you do not have sufficient human capital? Okay, may prove inadequate for diffusion. So technology implement करने के लिए भी you need certain things which are not there in our country right now. So that is why certain नहीं है that technology will come and get diffused. Then with reference to above passage, following assumptions have been made. बहुत ही generalized passage था, okay. Relying on foreign investments in the long run is not an economically sound policy. Now obviously this is true. हमने we have read foreign investments are volatile and relying on it in long run is not an economic sound policy. Yes, तो यही तो पैसेज में बोला था कि हाउ फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट से टेक्नोलॉजी आती है, इवन देन वो डिफ्यूज हो जाए, ये भी इसकी भी गारंटी नहीं है। एंड देन द वेरी फर्स्ट फ्यू लाइंस वी रेड हाउ फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आर वेरी वॉलेटाइल बिकॉज द होल वर्ल्ड इज योर प्लेस ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट नाउ. Policies must be undertaken to reduce volatility in foreign private investment. Now, to reduce see, ये बात नहीं हुई that you have to have certain policies to reduce it. ठीक है? Foreign private investment, it is a risky thing. It is a risky thing in general only. ठीक है? So आप उसमें फॉरेन प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में कोई पॉलिसीज लाके रिड्यूस कैसे कर सकते हो? एग्जाम्पल, आप रीड दिस पैसेज अगेन। प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट इन जनरल इज ऑल्सो वॉलेटाइल, ठीक है, पहले प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट में, देन फॉरेन प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट इज मोर वॉलेटाइल, therefore responsibility of providing employment की responsibility we cannot leave there, ठीक है, then the FDI inflows are volatile over time and across sector regions, which is a necessary consequence of their search for highest returns. ये एक this is a necessary consequence उनके search for highest returns के लिए. Then adverse consequences are unstable employment and accentuation of income and regional inequalities, ठीक है, तो ये इसके negatives है. Then they are also talking about positive, कि positive consequences क्या है? न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी, बट उसका डिफ्यूजन भी सर्टेन नहीं है, ठीक है, बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ फिजिकल एंड ह्यूमन कैपिटल. सो इन एवरीथिंग they are saying that foreign private investment का स्ट्रक्चर ही ऐसा है कि it is volatile in general, and ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि you make policies so that to reduce volatility in foreign private investment. This is not something that has been implied in the passage. So policies must be undertaken to strengthen domestic private investment. This we will say is correct, ठीक है, because we are saying how foreign private सेकंड तो ठीक हो ही नहीं सकता. फॉरेन प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स की वॉलेटिलिटी आप कैसे रिड्यूस कर सकते हो? बाय सर्टेन पॉलिसीज. आप अपनी पॉलिसी स्ट्रॉन्ग करके डोमेस्टिक इन्वेस्टमेंट यू कैन इंप्रूव, राइट, ठीक है. So third is correct, first is correct. Then you have public investment should be given priority over private investment. Now see, they are in the passage, it is talking about how private investments are volatile, but they are not saying कि आप public investment को preference दो because apart from this, ठीक है. They are saying in the passage only thing that has been implied is private investments are volatile. For उसके बाद पहले तो ये बोले private investments ही volatile होती है. Among that foreign investments are even more volatile, and these are the losses of it. One benefit is that it may lead to technology diffusion, but वो भी इंडिया में इतना possible नहीं है because of lack of this capital and that capital, ठीक है. So again, in nowhere has it been said कि आप पब्लिक में इन्वेस्ट करो, प्राइवेट में मत करो. We have talked about how it is a consequence because private investment में to earn more, this is a consequence कि sometimes unemployment can happen and sometimes this to increase the income. So private investment से भी तो people are benefiting, ठीक है. So public investment should be given or in general also, even this is not a generally correct statement कि आप you only invest in public and not in private sector, ठीक है. So this is again incorrect. Substantial public investment in education and health should be undertaken. Now see, we can assume this because हमने क्या बात की? We do not have this capital, we do not have that capital. So yes, substantial public investment in education and health should be undertaken. So 1, 3 and 5, option B will be your answer. But again, even if you see option 4, we know कि is not possible at all. So A and C are eliminated. Now you are left with these two options, 3 only and 1, 3, 5 only. I know that 1 तो correct है. Relying on foreign investment in long run is not an economically sound policy. Of course, it is not an economically sound policy. So I know 1 is correct. So 1, 3 and 5 out of these options, ठीक है. So you can do it using any which way, ठीक है. So in this passage you have many opportunities to harness the highly skewed seasonal and spatial distribution of monsoon flows which occur in a 4-month period from June to September annually have been lost, ठीक है. So बहुत सी opportunities to harness the highly skewed, we have read about this earlier in passages only कि इंडिया में monsoon is highly skewed. Sometimes in the 3 months you have a lot of rainfall, then 75% rainfall in the 3 months, ठीक है. So on the similar lines we have read this seasonal and spatial distribution of monsoon which occur in a 4-month period from June to September annually have been lost. Many opportunities, we had a lot of opportunities which have been lost because of it. Since these few months account for most of the rainfall and consequent freshwater availability, the need for holding rainfall in reservoirs subsequently releasing it for use over the year is a necessity nobody can afford to overlook. ठीक है, तो अभी since हमारे पास क्या है, few months account for most of the rainfall, consequent rainfall is the only fresh water availability. ठीक है, तो the need for holding this rainfall in reservoirs is for use over the years is a necessity that we cannot afford to overlook. Next, climate change will continue to affect weather conditions and create water shortages and excesses. So climate change की वजह से it will continue to affect weather conditions and create water shortage. Shortage भी हो सकती है, excess भी हो सकता है. While millions suffer from droughts and floods, water in countries, many rivers flow unutilized and are discharged into the sea every year. Okay, with reference, so we are only talking about all the water shortages problem and climate change की वजह से it is creating shortage in some cases, excess in some cases. Millions suffer from droughts and floods. Waters in the countries may river flow unutilized and are discharged into the sea every year. तो हम waste कर रहे हैं a lot of opportunities of saving that. ठीक है, so in this, with reference to the above passage, which of the following could be the most rational and practical implications for India? So, first implication is interlinking of rivers should be undertaken. Now understand, in previous question, when we had a similar example, similar statement, उसमें क्या था? Interlink all the rivers. That is not possible. ठीक है, that is not a possible or logical solution कि जितने भी rivers है, rivers in the north, interlink them with rivers in the south. Is it possible? Is it a rational thing to do? ठीक है, so that is not something that you can do. But interlinking of rivers should be undertaken. Yes, ऐसा हो सकता है that you interlink certain rivers so that you can control and manage their flow so that you can have that again you can save rainwater, you can save river water which is the fresh water source for us. ठीक है, so this is true. अगर ऐसा होता interlinking all the rivers in the country, not, then it will not have been true. A network of dams and canals should be built across the country for proper distribution of water. Again, ये तो बहुत ही generalize. Even in your GS mains के answer में जब आप लिखते हो तो you write this that yes, dams or canals should be built across the country for proper distribution of water. Farmers should be provided easy loans for digging bore wells. Now, if you know, bore wells are a cause of groundwater depletion. ठीक है, farmers dig borewells, then they use a lot of groundwater. So this is not a correct thing to do. ठीक है, कि easy loans दो ताकि वो borewell dig करे. Usage of water for agriculture should be regulated by law. Now this is a very I would say strict statement and this is not a logical rational answer to your question. सबसे पहले तो I know 3 is incorrect. That means this option is gone, this option is gone. ठीक है, I am left with 1 and 2, 2, 4, 5. 1 is correct. ठीक है, and then chalo, we'll negate 4, 5 also, but I know 1 and 2 both are correct, so option A should be my answer. But we will read 4 and 5 and we will see why 4 and 5 are not our answers. ठीक है, usage of water for agriculture should be regulated by law. आप एक लॉ बनाओ कि यहाँ पर आप इतना ही वाटर यूज कर सकते हो. Again, this is not a rational logical thing to do. ठीक है, so and this is not something that can be applied. Distribution of river water among regions should be regulated by union government. Again, आप first of all ऐसा practical implication या ऐसा something like that has not been implied in the passage. ठीक है, and mostly when there is some major change or something which is not generally which is not a generally correct statement also, ऐसे statement आ जाए, then this is an incorrect answer. ठीक है, so option 1 and 2. See, देखो फिफ्थ में और क्या प्रॉब्लम है. We are not saying कि distribution of river water ठीक से नहीं हो रहा है. We are talking about how first of all इंडिया में जो रेनफॉल आ रही है, ठीक है, वो हम सेव ही नहीं कर पा रहे. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम. Problem is that we are not able to save the fresh water that we are getting using rainfall. We are not saying कि हम save तो कर रहे हैं, but distribute we are not doing it correctly. So this is not one of the solutions, because this is not the problem in the passage. आप प्रॉब्लम के अकॉर्डिंग सॉल्यूशन दोगे ना. प्रॉब्लम है ही नहीं डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वाटर की. प्रॉब्लम ही यही है कि हम वाटर, रेन वाटर को हार्नेस नहीं कर पा रहे. वी आर नॉट एबल टू सेव इट. ठीक है. सो अगेन 5 इज नॉट द प्रॉब्लम. हाउ कैन 5 बी द सॉल्यूशन देन? डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वाटर के बारे में इट्स नॉट द इशू. हाउ विल 5 बी द आंसर देन? Passage 3, in this you have, people will invest in education wherever they are, granted for the economic freedom to fully enjoy its benefit. Okay, ठीक है. तो people will invest in education whenever they are granted the economic freedom to fully enjoy its benefits. कि आप educate भी तब हो, educate होकर you can at least reap the benefits of it. ठीक है. If you are educated, you are not getting the job. तो हम बोलते नहीं कि क्या फायदा ये डिग्री लेने का, डिग्री के बाद जॉब ही नहीं मिलेगी तो. ठीक है. So what we do, we neglect that. But at the same time, if you know that ये डिग्री लेने के बाद you will get a very nice job, so you will say that yes, I want to do this. ठीक है. I want to do this course. I want to educate myself to that level because I know that the benefits are, numerous. So people will invest in education जब हम उनको, whenever there will be freedom to enjoy its benefits. Again, this is for the obvious reason that return on education increases as the level of economic freedom rises. जैसे जैसे economic freedom increase होती है, education पे return increases. When people, thanks to lower tax rates, are allowed to retain most of the higher income that they gain from each incremental level of education, it makes eminent sense to invest in education. देखो, when people, thanks to lower tax rates, are allowed to retain most of the higher income. So, see, there is a basic income, then there is another level of higher जो income होती है, because of gaining more education, you will get more income, and lower tax rate होगा, you will save it. So you can see that there are benefits to it. ठीक है. On the other hand, when government decides to tax the higher income of educated individuals at even higher rate, it makes very little sense to invest in educating oneself further. Then this is also an issue कि आपका higher tax rate होगा if you are earning more. ठीक है. If you are educating, getting more education, getting more at another level of income. ठीक है. So that will also discourage कि इतना tax rate. The same incentive applies to parents who decide on whether to invest in their children's education. So parent, basically investment आप कहीं पे भी कर रहे हो, आप ROI तो देखोगे ना, return on investment आप देखोगे. Education is the same. ठीक है. So you want to invest in it if you think that the ROI is good. ठीक है. That is what we are saying कि education पे return जब ज्यादा मिलने लग जाएगा तो लोग invest भी करेंगे. ठीक है. Which references to the above passage, the following assumption have been made. Lower tax rate in a country invariably translates to greater investment in higher education. So, lower tax rate in a country invariably translates into greater investment in higher education. Now, lower tax rate in a country may translate to higher education में investment in education, but invariably, so क्या हो गया? Extreme option. ठीक है. That is why this is incorrect. Investment in the education of children ensures their economic freedom. So investment in the education of children ensures their economic freedom. Now again, we were saying that investment education में लोग तब करेंगे जब उनको पता होगा economic freedom होगी. ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है, which is happening, that you invest in education, but even then economic freedom is not, you do not get economic freedom. That is why you stop investing in education. Even then, समझ रहे हो? इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एजुकेशन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन इंश्योर्स इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम, नहीं, रिवर्स बोला होता ना, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम इंश्योर्स मोर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एजुकेशन, ठीक है, या इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम इंश्योर्स इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एजुकेशन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, यस, बट ये क्या है, उल्टा है, ये बोला एजुकेशन से इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम आती है। नो, इन द पैसेज वी आर सेइंग कि इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम होगी तो एजुकेशन में इन्वेस्टमेंट भी करेंगे लोग, because they know that they will get the economic freedom to earn from it, ठीक है? So this is reverse of what we are talking in the passage. See how confusing this statement is. Investment in education of children ensures economic freedom, बिल्कुल रिवर्स कर दिया, economic freedom ensures investment in education of children, okay? Economic freedom has a positive impact on building up human capital. ये तो ट्रू है, इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम का होता है पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट, यही बात कर रहे थे हम। सो 3 ओनली विल बी योर आंसर, ओके, ऑल राइट। मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज पैसेज 4। Again, small passage, but then you have 2 questions with it. Our urban bodies cannot possibly ensure sustainable delivery of water in our cities unless financing mechanisms are put in a place. First sentence से ही, again, do you remember when we were saying that author is trying to tell you a story? तो ऑथर ने फर्स्ट सेंटेंस में ही आपको क्या एक ओवरलुक क्या दिया कि हमारी जो अर्बन बॉडीज है, दे कैन नॉट डू डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वाटर अनलेस एक फाइनेंसिंग मैकेनिज्म जो है आर पुट इन प्लेस। वाटर डिलीवरी रिक्वायर्स हैवी इन्वेस्टमेंट इन कलेक्टिंग इट फ्रॉम नेचुरल सोर्स, ठीक है? वाटर का जो डिलीवरी है, इट रिक्वायर्स हैवी इन्वेस्टमेंट कि आप उसको नेचुरल सोर्स से पहले कलेक्ट करो, ट्रीट करो टू मेक इट पोर्टेबल, लेइंग अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क ऑफ पाइप्स सो दैट आप उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सको फॉर डिलीवरी टू द यूजर्स। इट ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्स इन्वेस्टमेंट इन सीवरेज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट, so that sewers can carry the wastewater to these plants to ensure that no untreated sewage is discharged back into natural water bodies. If our cities were rich enough to meet the entire cost, water could be delivered free. They are not, ठीक है? तो अगर हमारी जो है cities they were rich enough to meet the entire cost, water क्या हो सकता था? It could have been delivered for free, but we are not. We know that we do not have sufficient funds for it. That was the very first line कि financing mechanisms are not in place, ठीक है? So what is the most logical and crucial message conveyed by the passage? Urban local bodies must recover cost through user charges. Next, urban local bodies are not efficient enough to meet the water requirements of our city. Now again, water requirements नहीं, water distribution. We urban local bodies are not efficient enough. Efficient we जो है, if you even if we assume that yes they are not efficient enough, first of all we are not saying how they are not efficient, efficiency में problem, we are saying that there is a problem in financing and investment. आपको यहाँ पर पहले collect करना water को, then you have to process it, you have to further have certain plants, sewage plant, treatment plants, ठीक है, water को further treat करना so that it is then transportable, pipes lay करना. It is not that urban local bodies are inefficient, but urban local bodies में investment नहीं है, financing mechanisms are not in place, ठीक है? So that is one of the thing. And then to meet water requirement of our city ने distribution में problem है, ठीक है? Water shortage in our cities is a perennial problem that cannot be solved. Cannot be solved ऐसा तो नहीं है, we know a lot of solutions for it, but we know that this cannot be solved is incorrect, ठीक है? In view of water crisis in our city, there is urgent need to limit the population of city by adopting upper limit of population size. Is this possible? Is this logical? Is this rational कि इस city में only 10,000 people can live, upper limit लगा दो? Is this a rational thing to do? Not at all. So this is not possible. Now see, when I read the first option, This is my personal experience with this passage. When I read the first option, urban local bodies must recover cost through user charges. ठीक है, I was a bit skeptical कि ये logical rational message जो है, is this conveyed by the passage जो author or not. ठीक है, I was skeptical on this, but when I read B, C, D, I said that these cannot be my answers. Hence, option A should be my answer. ठीक है, so that is why I say in reading comprehension sometimes the answer also does not make that much sense to us. I'm not saying the answer is incorrect. Sometimes to us as an individual, as a person, every person has a different way of analyzing a passage and reading it and understanding it. So sometimes the answer doesn't make sense to us, but we know that the remaining three options are incorrect. That means this is the only one left that can be my answer. So only option B. And once you come to this conclusion that option A is your answer, you will also get the reasoning why option A is the answer. सबसे पहले ऑथर बता रहा है कि फाइनेंसिंग इश्यूज है. नेक्स्ट में ऑथर बता रहा है वी नीड टू डू दिस, हमें इसके लिए पैसा चाहिए, हमें इसके लिए वी नीड इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है, उसके लिए पैसा चाहिए, डिलीवरी करनी है, उसके लिए पैसा चाहिए, वी नीड टू ले डाउन पाइप्स, फॉर दैट वी नीड फाइनेंसिंग. ठीक है, उसके बाद वो ये भी बोल रहा है that if our cities were rich enough to meet the entire cost, water could be delivered free, but they are not. इतना पैसा नहीं है, so we have to take user charge. So that is the only possible logical message that is conveyed by the passage. ठीक है. Next you have with reference to the above passage, following assumptions have been made. Rich cities only can ensure sustainable delivery of water. See, even if a city is a rich city, but financing mechanisms are not in place, ठीक है, या chain of distribution let's say corrupt, then can you ensure delivery of water? So rich cities only, no, सिर्फ फाइनेंस इज नॉट द ओनली प्रॉब्लम कि पैसे आने से सॉल्व हो जाएगा. A lot of issues are there in place. Rich cities only can ensure sustainable delivery of water. Sustainable delivery तो we can ensure by we can ensure right now because user charge तो हम ले रहे हैं. So we are making financing finance related things we are doing to ensure that we have the sufficient amount of money so that we can deliver water. ठीक है, so rich cities only can ensure sustainable delivery of water. This is incorrect. This is also incorrect because it is an extreme option. सिर्फ rich cities only. Sustainable delivery of water in cities means much more than supplying water to household. This is correct. Sustainable delivery of water is much more than, सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि आपने सप्लाई कर दिया हाउस में, it is sustainable delivery of water. No, ठीक है, it is much more than supplying water to households. आप कहाँ कैसा वाटर सप्लाई कर रहे हो, वाटर ट्रीटेड है या नहीं, ठीक है, इज द वाटर गुड और नॉट, ठीक है. ऑल्सो आर यू गिविंग रेगुलर सप्लाई, आर यू सप्लाइंग ईच हाउस होल्ड इक्वली, ठीक है, किसी एरिया में कम किसी एरिया में ज्यादा, इज इट स्क्यूड और नॉट जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो रही है. सो इट इज सस्टेनेबल डिलीवरी ऑफ वाटर मीन्स मच मोर देन सप्लाइंग water to households. So yes, option B is correct. Only 2. Now moving on to the fifth passage. Okay, so we said that this was a lengthy passage, but also see when you have a passage like this जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा data हो ना, this passage is not that difficult to understand. इसमें क्या है, data values ही इतनी ज़्यादा है, so this is basically just a very you can say very mathematical kind of passage जिसमें आपने data को analyze करना है. Okay, so and a lot of times the data is not that relevant in the questions because अब आपसे direct questions नहीं पूछे जाते, implied questions पूछे जाते हैं, ठीक है. So that is also one thing कि आपको कुछ याद करना या ये 50% याद रखना, 2000 याद रखना, ऐसा याद नहीं रखना. You just have to read कि this is what is going on, ठीक है. So let's read the passage first. In India, agriculture still engages about half of its workforce and about 85% of its farms. are small and marginal. So इंडिया में एग्रीकल्चर अभी भी हाफ ऑफ इट्स वर्कफोर्स जो हमारी लेबर है, हाफ ऑफ इट इज स्टिल इन एग्रीकल्चर, एंड about 85% of its farms, जो इंडिया के farms हैं, are small and marginal. Then, compared to China and Vietnam, which have experienced fast structural and rural transformation, India's story is of slow transformation. चाइना एंड वियतनाम में क्या है, फास्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन थी, बट इंडिया में क्या, स्लो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो रही है. एज अ रिजल्ट, poverty reduction in India was at a much slower pace during 1988-2014 compared to China and Vietnam. ठीक है, सो कंपेयर टू चाइना एंड वियतनाम, इंडिया में जो पावर्टी रिडक्शन थी बहुत ही स्लो पेस पे थी. इंडिया पावर, ऑफ कोर्स व्हेन एडवांसमेंट, आपकी पॉपुलेशन एग्रीकल्चर में है, जब एग्रीकल्चर ही स्लो चल रहा है, दैट मीन्स वहां पर पावर्टी रिडक्शन कैसे होगी, यू आर नॉट हैविंग इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स ऑफ इट एज मच. ठीक है, देन India's poverty reduction was slow during 88 and 2005 also, but 2005 से 12 में it accelerated dramatically, almost 3 times faster than during the earlier period. What did India do during this period? Research reveals that relative price scenario changed significantly by more than 50% in favor of agriculture in the wake of rising global prices. तो relative price scenario जो है it changed क्योंकि पूरे ग्लोब में ही there were a lot of rising global prices. This boosted private investment in agriculture. इसकी वजह से क्या हुआ, देखो प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट आया इन एग्रीकल्चर बाय मोर देन 50%. एज अ रिजल्ट, एग्री जीडीपी ग्रोथ टच्ड 4.1% ड्यूरिंग 2007-12 एज अगेंस्ट पहले 2.4 होती थी, अब 4.1 हो गई. नेट सरप्लस ऑफ एग्री ट्रेड touched 25 billion in 2013-14. Real farm wages rose by 7% per annum. All this led to unprecedented fall in poverty. So, because of all of this, एक unprecedented fall in poverty we saw. Now, let's do the next question. So, in this you have, with reference to the above passage, following assumptions have been made. Structural and rural transformation is impossible when farms are mainly small and marginal. Now, without even reading the passage, we will just analyze the statements. So, without going into the passage, without thinking about the passage, we will just analyze the statement कि statement जो है in itself, is it correct or not. So, structural and rural transformation is impossible when the farms are small and marginal. एक की तो I have told you that when you have extreme options, it is very rare that they will be the correct answer. Logically भी अगर आप सोचो कि क्या small और marginal farms होते हैं अगर, तो impossible है structural and rural transformation. We said that India में हुई है transformation. It's just that it has been slower than China and Vietnam. तो impossible तो नहीं है, slow हो सकता है, but impossible तो नहीं होगा. ठीक है, so first is incorrect. A good price incentive can trigger, first of all this is can कि हो सकता है, can trigger investment in agriculture. This is true. Price incentive दोगे तो it can trigger कि investment हो agriculture में, which is mentioned again in the passage also कि हाँ हुआ था ऐसा. Next, India needs to build value chains for high value agri products like livestock and horticulture. Again, this is also seems correct कि हाँ इंडिया को चाहिए value chains बनानी चाहिए. This is a correct assumption that yes, if your agriculture, if you want to do more in agriculture and everything, 50% of your workforce is in agriculture, is related to this agri something. So you have to have more investment in the value chains of products that are of more value, livestock and horticulture, etc. maybe. So 3 also seems correct. Now fourth, higher global prices of agricultural commodities are essential for India's poverty reduction. Global price का increase होना is essential for poverty reduction. Yes, it helped क्योंकि global prices increase हुए, India में भी उसके हमने we saw the effects of it, that in India also the relative price changed and then there was more private investment. But this is one of the case that happened. Is it essential for India's growth? So this is not correct. Is it essential for India's poverty reduction? No. Only 2 and 3. Option C will be your answer. Next you have fifth. Second question. Which one of the following statements best reflects the critical message of the passage? India should create large-scale off-farm rural employment to reduce poverty in the near future. So firstly, we are not saying that कि poverty में reduction करने के लिए हमें off farm करना चाहिए. We are not saying that you should shift people from agriculture to different things. Although this is also one of the solutions. We always say that in agriculture there is a lot of hidden labor, there is a lot of labor that is not required. Okay, so there are a lot of factors, and we say that we need to make different opportunities so that people can be employed on other things and businesses and works. So they should have job opportunities apart from agriculture. But this is not what we are talking about in the passage. India should create large number of farmer producer companies. Again, this is also not something that is one best reflects the critical message of the passage. So private investment in agriculture should be given priority over public investment. ये तो बोला ही नहीं. We are not saying that. We are saying कि private investment हुई, उससे we had certain benefits, but we are not saying कि private को benefit दो या public को benefit दो. This is not the critical message that has been implied. Then option D is inclusive agriculture growth is the key to reduce poverty in the near future. Obviously this is correct. सबसे पहले तो this is a very generalized statement कि हाँ इंक्लूसिव एग्रीकल्चर ग्रोथ होगी, स्मॉल हो, मार्जिनल हो, जो भी फार्मर्स हो, सबकी ग्रोथ होनी चाहिए, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एवरीबडी, ठीक है, will lead to reduce in poverty in near future. बहुत ही generalized statement. These three were either specific or vague. ठीक है, so option D, this will be your answer. Okay, so these were the first 5 passages of CSAT 2020 question paper. I hope that you understood the passage. I hope that you understood just behind it. You understood the type of question that have been asked. Okay, so in the next video we will further complete remaining passages of CSAT 2020. Thank you so much for watching the video.